Hi and welcome to the Nim Fam. In this video I will talk you through my initial first draft of my official fantasy football team for the 18-19 FPL season using the website fantasyfootballfix.com. I tend to start with one set and forget premium goalkeeper, so I'll begin there. I was torn between David De Gea and Ederson to fill this spot. Right now Ederson at 5.5 wins out because of his good run of fixtures after Arsenal in the first game week. Also, as talked about in my other draft team video, Ederson got 16 clean sheets last season, just 2 less than David De Gea. He is also 0.5 cheaper and at the moment, just like De Gea at United, is one of the most nailed ways into a top team defence. Button then is just a 4 mil placeholder. I do not expect him to play and will most likely occupy that spot until I wildcard, if he stays before the start of the season. Moving on to my defence, I have decided to give my first defensive spot to Daniels. Now, my team is unlikely to stay exactly the same as this, but Bournemouth have fairly good fixtures and Daniels has a squawker attack score of 109.59. He's created the highest number of chances than my current defence at 28 and 863 total forward passes. He got a goal and assist last season and does like to run forward, though a lot of seasoned FPL managers will tell you he can be a frustrating defender to own. Moving on to Ward. Burnley got 9 clean sheets last season and Ward got top defender for the Clarets by just 1 point. He grabbed a goal and an assist, and Burnley have 3 nice fixtures. With most of the nailed Burnley defenders at 5 mil, I will need to think carefully on if to keep and who takes that spot, as Lowton also amassed 3 assists last season. Wan-Bissaka is filling the cheap 4 mil bench fodder spot. He came into the Palace lineup due to injury last season and impressed the gaffer. He's also played in some pre-season games, but I'm not 100% he keeps his place regularly during the season. But as he will sit on my bench and keep it warm, this doesn't worry me too much yet. Other 4 mil should arise due to injury as the season plays out. Cardiff's Peltier could be one of these. Moving on to the first of my somewhat premium defence, I have Coleman. When people look at Coleman in terms of points last season, just 39 points and 1 assist, they will run away. But those of us that know the man, the myth, the legend that is Seamus Coleman will be taking some serious consideration to having him in our teams, now that he seems to have returned well from injury. In the 16-17 season, Coleman had a squawker attack score of 280.86. 133 points from 4 goals and 4 assists. Everton now have Marcus Silva as manager, and that coupled with a sea of greens in the fixture ratings, Coleman could be a good shout. Lastly is Robertson at 6 mil. He got 111 points last season from 1 goal and 5 assists. His defensive score is as good as his attacking score, and he had 679 forward passes. Liverpool seem to be focusing a lot on defence this transfer window, with possibly a different keeper. It's staggering the amount of points Robson could get for Liverpool if they tighten more at the back and Robson gets a good, clean, consistent run of game time. I've gone into a lot of detail on some of these players further forward in my other videos, so be sure to check those out. But I'll try and give a quick summary here on why they made my first draft. Mo Salah was the first person I placed in my team. I'm not going to lie, 13 million is a massive amount, and I would only have considered spending that in the past on a striker. But a total points haul of 303, more than any other player in the FPL last season, from his 32 goals and 12 assists, I would rather have him and need to sell him if he's not doing as well, than have to try and squeeze him into my squad. He has a squawker attack score of 1501.85 and a 61% shot accuracy. Mo is also a great person to hang your captaincy armband on from week 1. I'm excited to see how he will do this coming season. Sano makes my team for a few simple reasons. Firstly, he should be the most likely of the City mids to start the beginning of the season, due to the others having been at the World Cup. Secondly, he's a great player. 10 goals and 15 assists last season, totalling to 179 points. He also created 57 chances for his teammates. With Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne being so much money this season, we'll have our eyes peeled on our screens to know if Sané or Mahrez will be the cheap way into this team's midfield. Now it's from here on in I start to worry about my midfield, and I'm not keen on having two midfielders from promoted teams. This is likely to change. But Jota's stats are way and beyond, and although the Championship is by no means the Premiership, I do think he could be this season's gross at 6.5. I have covered him more extensively in another video containing the Salahless budget draft, so I leave my roundup of Jota there. Patterson is another from the promoted side that boasts good stats. He got 10 goals and 4 assists last season and is just 5.5. I am tempted though to drop him to Danny Ward of Cardiff, who is just 4.5, playing out of position as a striker. This may depend on the transfers Cardiff make, but if I did, that cash could get better used somewhere else, like switching Jota to Martial, who we've been told by Jose himself will have a striker role with Sanchez at the start of the season. Lastly, we have the 4.5 Dale Stephens of Brighton. He played lots of minutes for his club last season and got 3 assists. This is the kind of player you just want to leave on the bench and forget, knowing he'll be bringing you at least a few points if someone in your starting 11 doesn't play. Before we take a look at my forwards, there's just time to tell you that this video and all my videos this season are sponsored by matchfit.biz, so make sure you check them out. Now let's take a look at my strike force. I've gone cheap in my first forward spot with Kamara of Fulham for 4.5. He got 7 goals and 2 assists last season, but did lose his place when Mitrovic arrived on loan. Mitrovic, however, is no longer on loan at Fulham. Next up is Aguero, and I am a little bit in love with Aguero. Anyone who follows me will know that. Not being able to have him because of rotation and everything last season was really upsetting for me. But there is hope, at least for the start of the season. Although he didn't travel for pre-season, I will keep my eyes peeled for the Community Shield, as he should be in the starting 11 given his early exit in the World Cup compared to Jesus. Aguero isn't cheap at 11 mil, but he did get 21 goals and 6 assists in the game time he did get. And as mentioned before, City's fixtures past Arsenal are looking scary good. To complete my first draft team, I've got Aubameyang. Besides Salah, he is the only name I knew I wanted from the start of this season. Of course, you could look to the cheaper alternative of Lacazette at 9.5, but I'm happy to pay the 11 mil for Alba based on what I know and what I have seen from him. He got 87 points last season from just 13 games since arriving at Arsenal. These 87 points came from 10 goals and 4 assists. Of his 31 shots taken, 19 of those were on target. He's scored a hat-trick in pre-season already, and I'm going to call it early. He could be this season's Golden Boot winner. And that's it, you guys. Keep your eyes peeled on this channel for updated drafts. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all those fabulous things. Nymphrya out.